This is exactly how top agents are using data in order to win in real estate in 2024. Hi, my name is Cody from Sheridan Street, and today I want to walk you through some data that we've actually implemented into our business over the last year that has really helped greatly give us the clarity that we need in order to actually scale our agency. And we work with agents and teams, some of the largest teams from across the country, and helping them understand data and helping them understand the metrics that they need to track in order to drive real financial results in their real estate business. In one of my last videos, I talked about projections, and I talked about how having projections is the key component that will allow you to actually grow in real estate today. And I think far too many agents and far too many teams neglect the right numbers so that they can spend more on their marketing. In a world where a lot of people are trying to cut back on their marketing spend, I'm reminded of a quote from the late, great Henry Ford, where he said, "A man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock in order to save time." It just doesn't work. If we want to experience the growth that we're looking to experience in our real estate businesses and as entrepreneurs, we must come to the realization that we must market ourselves, whether that be through organic, whether that be through paid forms. Paid is an acceleration. So when you spend money on platforms like Zillow or Facebook or YouTube or TikTok, or you do mailers, whatever you're doing, whatever strategy you're implementing, my encouragement would be is actually look at some of these key metrics that I'm going to share with you today that will help you actually drive real financial results in your real estate business. So something that we have come to realize is that there are so many different tools out there. And in a real estate business, the platform we use for our real estate clients is a platform we call Sisu. And Sisu is a great platform because there are 5 metrics that technically 6 metrics that every real estate business should track. The first metric is, what are the conversations that your agents are actually having? So when you're looking at real estate holistically, we have a fundamental belief that all conversion happens in what we call great conversations. So conversation is the first trigger point in a business that will help you determine, are you driving real financial results? Now, it's not just enough to have a lot of conversations. There's a common saying in the sales space that sales is a numbers game, and it's just not true. Sales isn't a numbers game because one person can have 5 conversations and get 4 clients. Another person can have 5 conversations and get 0 clients. What's the difference? Systems and skill. So while we track conversations, that's literally the first thing that we track that gives us clarity on, are we on the right path? Because if you're not having enough conversations every day, there's no way to get to this second metric. And this second metric is something we call appointments set. So it's so important that we have a good understanding of how many appointments we're actually setting on a daily basis. So inside of the Sisu platform, the second metric that they track is appointments set. Now, I chat with teams all across North America, and this is something that they're not even tracking. They're not tracking how many appointments their agents and their ISAs are setting on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. It's very difficult. Everyone in the real estate space is so obsessed with this metric called cost per lead. The reason I don't even put that into the metric, I think that's super important, but I think you need to track that per source. You need to track that on Facebook, Google, TikTok, Zillow. There needs to be a separate tracking for that. But for the overall broad team tracking, the second metric you need to track is appointment set. How many appointments are your agents setting on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis? This is going to allow you to create projections. And in my previous video, I talked about how you create projections. The third metric to track is what we call appointments held or appointments met. The reason that this is so important is because, and the reason that you want to track this not just at a team level, but on a team member level, is because you'll be able to see where people's bottlenecks are. Generally, from appointment set to appointment met, we want to have a 60 to 70% show rate on our appointments. Now, generally when there's a handoff for one person and another, generally what we see as an effective appointment set to met rate is anywhere between that 50 to 70% range if you have an ISA. Do not get your hopes up and expect that, you're going to have, if your ISA sets 10 appointments, that you're going to have 10 appointments. That's just not the case. That's not reality. You should ideally have, depending on the lead source, anywhere between 4, 5 to 7 appointments showed or appointments held. Now, there's different things that you can do from the appointment set to met rate, and I'll cover that in another video. But one little thing that you can do is, if you have somebody else setting, is that person can create a group chat between them and the prospect, and it gives you the opportunity to get that information. And then the next thing that you can do, as soon as you get the information, as soon as you're free, if you're not able to take over a live transfer, what you do is you pull out your phone, you record a voice note, and you say, hey, I'm super excited to chat with you about X, Y, and Z thing, about ABC to get you ultimately the thing you're looking for. Hey, we're set to chat at this date, this time, and that personalizes the invitation. And that we've seen that has been super effective in, increasing our set to met rate. The fourth metric that we need to track after we get to appointments met is we need to figure out, how many clients are signed, how many clients have essentially signed either a buyer agreement or signed a seller agreement. This is going to give us clarity, because if the next metric from met to signed, there's a lot of things that can happen between met to signed. If you're meeting with a bunch of clients, but you're not getting any buyer or listing agreement signed, there might be a problem with your presentation. There might be a problem with the words that you're saying. Maybe you're not clarifying and probing enough during your presentation. Maybe you're talking too much. That's the whole reason we created our TRIZ program, our Trust Report Influence Sales Method. The reason we created that program was specifically to help people not just get more appointments, but also get more contracts signed, get more people under contract, explain to them the value of your process. And our agents are doubling and tripling their business simply by tracking this metric and having the right buyer presentation, the right listing presentation. So after appointment met, clients under contract, clients signed. The fifth metric, and I just gave that away, that you need to track in a real estate business is you need to track your met to clients signed, your client signed to under contract. Why is this important? I'm going to explain why this is important. Because in every step, there are things that can break. So just like I said, between set to met, that could be you didn't tie down the person. From met to under contract, it could be a presentation issue. From under contract to closed, it could be an expectation issue. It could be an offer writing issue. Maybe you're writing a ton of offers, but none of your offers are getting approved. So if you have a really big delta from client signed to under contract, maybe your offers just suck. Maybe you have agents on your team that are setting a ton of appointments, they're meeting with a ton of people, they're getting a ton of clients under contract, and then they're getting the offer writing table, and the agent on the other end, or the listing agent, is saying, hey, this sucks. Or maybe they're not setting expectations at the met rate, and they're not doing a proper buyer and listing presentation, which is ultimately causing them to get the listing. Maybe they're not walking through your clients, if you're a team lead, about the 3 pricing strategies that everyone needs to know. Maybe they're listing the property too high. But without this data, without knowing those 5 metrics, clients under contract, you don't know if your agents, and you don't know if you are personally writing winning offers. That could be a drop-off point. And the last metric, the last drop-off point that can happen in a real estate business is from under contract to closed. And this could be a ton of different things. It could be a concession. It could be you didn't educate your buyers in the right way. It could be an array of multiple things that kind of drop off from under contract to close. Maybe it's pending. Maybe there's, not enough money in escrow. It could be a ton of different things that could happen. But these 6 metrics and these 6 data points are the key to unlocking your real estate financial goals, the lifestyle, and the income you're looking to make. I hope you wrote some notes today, and I hope you're able to kind of take these things. There's different platforms out there like Sisu. There's different platforms out there like CTE. All of our clients, when you join our TRIZ program, we give you a CTE platform so you can start tracking. But our clients track. TRIZ clients, TRIZ agents, they track their numbers. And the reason they track their numbers is it helps them understand where their bottlenecks are so that they can work on those bottlenecks and they can ultimately build the business. Like clients Jan, Molly, Daniel, Ryan are all experiencing 2 to 3x income by acquiring the skills and knowing their numbers. It's an acquirement of skills and acquirement of numbers. If you're at all interested in learning a little bit more about what we do inside of the Trust Rapport Influence Sales Method with me and my partner, Vikram Deal, send me a DM on Instagram with the word Triz. And my handle on Instagram is @CodMay. So if my team can drop that below, @CodMay, send me an email and I will get you some information on how we can get you plugged into our Triz business tracker, how we can get you plugged into our buyer and seller presentation, how we can get you plugged into our system so that you can have the right metrics in your business and ultimately experience the lifestyle and income you're looking to create. I want to say thank you for tuning into another video. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you got a ton of value today, and we'll see you soon.